in yesterday's video, we talked about 5 ways that you can make money online with innate and workflows. And one of the ways that I revealed was this course creator right here who has made over 100K simply with this one course. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into what he did so that you could potentially do it too. Now, am I telling you that you're going to make 100K with one course? Of course not. But if you can learn and understand what he did, you can potentially replicate it in your own way, and you can build a course that's successful online. So we're going to take a closer look at this course right here. It's called AI Automation, Build LLM Apps and AI Agents with N8N and APIs. You can see here under learners, there's almost 12,000 learners. And right now the course is $9.99. What I want to do is, like I said, I want to show you how you can do this yourself. And there's a pretty good chance that you're thinking one of these. I can't do it because it's too saturated, or I'm not an expert in AI agents or N8N or really anything, or my interests are in something other than N8N, or I just don't know where to begin. And I don't have a following, so I can't do this. So these are all things that you're probably thinking. And throughout the course of this video, I'm going to show you and tell you how you can get started with your own course that's successful, even if you're not an expert in your space, even if you aren't interested in AI agents and N8N and automation, any of that stuff, even if you don't know where to begin, because I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. And if you feel like the market is too saturated and you don't have a following. So I'm going to give you everything that you need to be successful. I'm going to eliminate those excuses that you've got in your mind. They're really just kind of smoke screens that you have told yourself so that you can feel good about not starting. That's a little bit of tough love right there for you. A lot of people will come up with an excuse so that they don't have to fail or they can't fail. But we're eliminating excuses in 2025, and we're going to keep moving forward. So if you don't know, what is N8N? N8N is essentially, it's a drag and drop editor, and I'm just going to bring up one of my N8N accounts. It's a drag and drop editor that people use to create different workflows. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff with these workflows. For example, I've got a doggy workflow. Essentially what it does is it creates images for Instagram, just like this one, Can Dogs Eat Squash? Not only does it create the image, I use it to actually create this caption as well. It does everything on autopilot. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but every 12 hours or so, it checks my Airtable to see if there's a record that doesn't have a post. It uses AI to create the post. It converts the post. It uploads the post. It creates a caption, and then it uploads it to Instagram. It does that all without my intervention. Now, I set this up once. It took me a few hours to set it up, but now that I have it set up, I don't really have to touch it again until I run out of keywords. So that's what N8N does. It's a drag and drop editor that allows you to build workflows that complete a task on autopilot, so you don't have to be involved. And as you can see here, I have a number of these different workflows that do all sorts of stuff. Everything from a tweet text based on a TikTok video that I created, YouTube repost. So anytime I upload a video, for example, when this video goes up, potentially the video with a link and a short description will be reposted on Twitter and Reddit and Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. So that's basically what it does. Let's go ahead and talk about the next thing, which is my experience. Now, I have quite a bit of experience in building out workflows. I'd been building out workflows in Integromat, if you know what that is. Now it's called Make.com. I'd start building out workflows for a while, but it's drag and drop, and it's a skill that you can learn and skill that you retain. If you learn how to drag and drop, you learn how to essentially kind of put puzzle pieces together. That's what we're doing. When you look at these workflows, they seem big and complicated, but essentially you're just putting together a puzzle piece. You are thinking, okay, I want to do this. How can I get all of these pieces together to get the output that I want? This one's a YouTube idea generator. It generates different ideas for me and delivers them to my Google Doc every single morning at like 4 a.m. And I can elect to use that information to create content or just kind of throw it away. But what we're doing is we're simply putting together online puzzle pieces, and it gives us an output that we can then make better decisions with. Here's what we're going to cover. Also, real quick, I have sold a number of courses with Udemy. I've sold courses on my own, and I have, not to toot my own horn and not to be arrogant, but I have made a decent amount of money on the internet, and I have been on the internet making money online for, I would say, about 10 years. Here are just a few courses that I'd made on Udemy. The first courses I actually made were in Amazon Web Services. Okay, so you can see there, I've got a number of these courses. I haven't updated them in a number of years, so I'm decent amount of following when it comes to these courses. Anyway, let's get back to what's most important. Here's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to show you how you can come up with your course idea. It's much easier than you think. I'm going to show you and tell you about how to create your first course, how to market your course so that people actually see it, and then scaling beyond just the course. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to have just a course. We want to have a business that makes money for us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the $119,620 man. His name is, I forgot his name, but his name is, where is it? His name is Arnold, and Arnold has 51 courses over on Udemy. He's been around a while to put up 51 courses, but the number of courses he has isn't really important because of a few reasons. One, he's capitalizing on something that is new, and because it's new, there isn't as much competition and saturation, and so he was able to jump on this pretty quickly. He has created courses, or this course has gotten a number of positive ratings. 4.8 out of 5 is really good. And the other thing I wanted to point out is he doesn't have a large following. Okay, if we look at his Facebook, he only has 884 friends only. If we look at his LinkedIn, he does have over 500 connections. But if we look at this, it doesn't look like he's got a lot going on here. It doesn't mean that he is not active. It just means that I don't see a whole lot going on here. If we look at X or Twitter, he only has 159 followers. So he doesn't have this major following. And then if we look over on YouTube, he only has 19,000 subscribers only. That's not a huge following. That's a pretty good following, but that's not huge or as big as it could be. And the other thing too, which is probably stifling his growth, is that his content is in German. If he made content in English, he'd probably have more buyers, but that's neither here nor there. But the first thing that you're probably thinking is that you need to have a huge following in order to be successful, and he doesn't. Unless he's got a hidden following somewhere, he doesn't have a huge following. In fact, the following that he does have, he's not even pointing them to his Udemy. He's pointing them to a school community, which is something that we actually talked about yesterday. And I might do a separate video just on this as well. But this community has 249 members, and he's charging $59 a month. If we look at this one, I think this might be the free school community. Okay, so this might be his free school community. And the free school community is a feeder system into his paid community. He'll get people to upgrade, right? So he doesn't have a huge following. He is simply creating courses over on Udemy, and people are buying them and engaging with them, right? So one thing that I wanted to point out is this course is 12 hours. I think that for your first course, it should not be 12 hours long. Your first course should maybe be 2 hours, 3 hours max, just because you want to get your first course under your belt. Until you've done something, you will feel like it's impossible. Until you've uploaded your first course, until you've made your first dollar online, you will feel like it's impossible. And so what I encourage you to do is to create your first course in a weekend and get it uploaded into the world and start marketing it. You can always add to your course later on. You can always update your course with new information. A lot of really smart, intelligent individuals have never made money online because their course is still sitting on their hard drive because they wanted it to be perfect. You don't want perfection early on. You want to be done. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to step 1, which is finding a niche. In the beginning, do not be broad. You want to be narrow. You want to identify a specific problem that you can solve for someone. As it says there, the person that tries to help everyone helps no one. And if you can't help anyone, you don't make any money. So identify specific problems for specific niches. For example, I help X use N8N to solve Y. Okay, so an example of that is I help dentists use N8N to get more clients. And then maybe you scrape the websites of the local school districts for new teachers. And if there's a new teacher, you offer to do a new like a class intervention teaching people how to teaching the students how to brush their teeth. So that's kind of that's a thing, right? So you could help dentists use N8N to get more clients. That's a specific problem that you can solve. And how many dentists are there in the United States? There are probably maybe 100,000 dentists in the United States. How many more dentists are in dentist school looking to become dentists? So that could make you a substantial amount of money. So when you're looking for a niche, once again, and I say this probably every day, people will buy things from you when you save them time, save them money, help them make more money, or avoid frustration. If you can do one of those things, people will buy from you. If you can if you can display that you can do two of those things, people will throw and shovel money at you. Okay, and so here's some different ways that you can find a niche. What are your current knowledge, skills, and experience, and how can you clearly state that in a logical way? What do you do at work? What are some things that you do at work all day? For example, I used to be a software developer. So what I could do is I could think, okay, how can I use software development and N8N to help people solve a problem? Maybe I teach software developers how to use N8N to solve coding challenges, or to get coding interviews, or to improve their resume. So start thinking like that as far as course creation goes. You can also look at Facebook groups. One really powerful thing that you can do is you can go over to Facebook. You can type in a niche. For example, I'm just going to type in wedding, and I'm going to go over to groups. I'm going to take a look at public groups here like this, and let's see if we can find this one, Weddings and Brides, Louisiana. Let's try this one. So we're going to go Weddings and Brides in Louisiana. Then I'm going to come over to the search bar, and I'm going to type in like how and hit enter. Now I'm going to get a bunch of posts. How much are you paying for day of coordinating? How much are y'all paying for day of coordinator and DJs? Trying to get an estimated budget. Okay, so maybe we could create an N8N workflow, or create a course that helps coordinators scrape the internet. Maybe we create a course that could solve problems for wedding planners and wedding coordinators. Hopefully you're able to start, seeing that you can take what you know, combine it to something that you don't know, and you've got a brand new course, and you've got a new angle. But as you can see here, Facebook's a great place to find different ideas because people are asking questions, and you can create something to solve those problems. You could even go into like a course creator Facebook group and follow the same thing. Looks like they're, for whatever reason, you know what? It's probably because I'm in my business page. If in my personal page, I might be able to see something. Yeah, so we can see a few more. There are a number of these groups. And then again, who, what, when, where, why, how. And you can start thinking about questions that people are asking, and can I create a course on that? That's just one way. Another way is you can go look at Reddit. So what are the questions that people are asking over on Reddit? Another great way is to look at the comment sections of viral videos. People inside those comments questions are asking a ton of questions that usually aren't getting answered. Create a course to answer those questions. You can also go to the search bar on YouTube and start typing in your keyword or keywords and start playing around with what pops up in the search result and the autofill. You can also look at Amazon book reviews. So if we just did that real quick, I'm going to go to Amazon.com, and I'm going to type in something like, I'm just going to type in N8N because that's what we've been talking about today. Okay, great. So there are a few courses on it. What I am looking for, let's see. Let's look at this one. And we're going to go over to reviews. There's only 3 reviews. Okay, not what you think. This isn't the book for non-developers. If you are looking for a non-developer type book on N8N and how to set up driven platforms, it's not for you. Also, it does feel like a human. It does not feel like a human created or formatted this book. So how you could use N8N to create books that feel like they were written by actual humans. So you can start looking at what people are already talking about and saying, connecting it to what you know and understand, and then you have a course idea, right? Don't get bogged down. I want you to come up with a course idea quickly in essentially a few hours, and then move on to the next step. And step 2 is to create the course. This is really important. Most people will start step 1 and they never make it to step 2 or never finish step 2. And you've got to create the course. No matter if you think it's terrible, let the market decide if it's good or bad. Just create the course. And so this is what you're going to do. Within your niche, identify 3 to 5 problems that your target audience is currently experiencing. Create a course to solve one of those problems. Break that main problem down into sub-problems. So for example, the problem is TikTok content creators want to use AI agents to get more views. And you could create a course based on these sub-problems. How to create prompts that get consistent output, which tools to use and how to connect them, how to maintain your voice when using AI for content, understanding metrics, and then benefits of using AI versus the human element. And so what you can do is simply create lessons answering those questions, solving those problems, and before you know it, you've got a course that has about 10 lessons. Create videos, and this is a tip that I learned. Create videos that can be repurposed across multiple courses. So you could create a course saying, here's an overview of how to use N8N. Now you can take that overview and then you can repurpose it across any additional courses that you create. Most importantly, your first course should not be a masterclass. Your first course should be 10 lessons or less. And the reason being is if it gets to be more than 10 lessons, you're just adding in stuff because you have self-doubt. You feel like the course isn't good enough. You feel like you're not giving them enough value. And so you keep throwing in more things to make it seem like your course is more valuable than what it is. And that's how, and that's why some of the best course creators in the world have never made money online, because their course never left their hard drive because of the self-doubt that they had, and they kept adding more things to it. So 10 lessons or less for your first course. You want the course to be finished, right? Finished and done is better than 100% of nothing. And then what I would do is alternate between lectures and step-by-step tutorials. So here you're going to have a lecture about how to create prompts that get consistent output. So inside of that lecture, you're going to say, okay, so here's what you're going to do. Here are some examples. And then the next video is going to be a step-by-step tutorial showing them how to use AI or ChatGPT and how to use it inside of N8N so that you can create a powerful course. Now let's see how to create the course. Keep them short. Yeah. So the other issue too is these lessons, you want them to you want the lessons to be really short. You want the lessons to be no more than 20 minutes because people are going to get distracted. If your customer leaves halfway through a lesson, they're probably not going to finish the lesson and they probably won't finish the course. So make the video short, 20 minutes or less. The shorter the better. Help them solve or achieve a result, give them confidence, get them excited, and you will have course creators. Right. So most importantly, do not spend money on a course. People will run out and they'll go buy a brand new webcam and they'll buy an expensive microphone and they'll buy all of these things. Start with where you are and then reinvest after you start making money. Do not buy fancy equipment. You can use free tools like Canva, Vimeo, QuickTime if you have a Mac. You can use all of these tools for free to create your course. So that's where you should start. If you're going to purchase anything, go out and purchase a microphone. But here's how you buy it. Buy one from a pawn shop. You can usually get a decent microphone at a deep discount, or go to Goodwill and see if they've got anything, or check eBay. Again, you want to buy used, don't buy new, because you don't want to spend a bunch of money in the very beginning. Now, let's talk about where to host your course, because this is really important. The example that I've shown you, he's hosting his course on Udemy or Udemy. This is bad. This is a problem. And the biggest problem with marketplaces is that they take a lot of money. Depending on how the learners bought the course will tell us how much money he made. If he marketed the courses himself, he probably kept about 80% of the 110,000. However, if the marketplace brought the customers to him, the amount that he made is about 50%. And this is why you should not host courses on marketplaces like Udemy. And I say that as someone that has hosted courses on Udemy. The problem is, A, it's competitive, it's saturated, you're fighting against other people. But B, you are losing so much money to a marketplace that doesn't really do a whole lot. They just have a bunch of courses. You still have to do all the marketing, regardless of if you are hosting the course yourself or you're using a marketplace. You still have to be responsible for the marketing. Because if you don't market your course, you don't tell people that the course is available, no one's going to buy it from you. So in my opinion, self-host the course, you can charge a little bit more. More importantly, you get access to the customer data, right? And when you get access to the customer data, you get what's called more money. And you can put affiliate links and you can sell them more stuff on the back end, like one-on-one coaching, consulting, memberships. It's just much better if you self-host. Now you can self-host on like Mighty Networks, Teachable, Kajabi, Gbolt Systems is what I would recommend. There's a million places out there. Don't use a marketplace. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is pricing and packaging. The pricing really depends on the problem that you solve. If you're helping people make money, you can charge more. If you are creating a course that's just like technical in nature, you can't charge as much. What I'd recommend is start with $7 and then raise the price consistently until sales dip. Now remember, when you're self-hosting, you need a sales page, you need a thank you page, email marketing, and then a place to host the course. And Gbolt Systems can do all of that for you for just $17 per month. You will also need to offer bonuses to make the buyer feel like they are getting more than what they're paying for. The only caveat that I have for that is I will see people, they will offer $10,000 worth of bonuses on a $7 product. That looks weird. I think that's a really scammy way to go. Anyway, bonuses can include course material, lifetime updates, access to a private community, and anything else that you can think of that will be relevant and help them achieve their result. Be sure to also include affiliate links inside your course to make more money. Have a section called recommended products, and those are all going to be affiliate links. Once this is done, move on to the next step, which is marketing your course. Now, no one will buy your course if you don't tell people about it. And a lot of people out there are afraid of being salesy. I want you to think about this a little bit differently. If you have something that is truly designed to help people, selling it is a good thing because people won't know that your course is out there and will help them unless you tell people about it. Selling and marketing is just making people that are unaware or uninformed informed so that they can make a buying decision. One of the best ways to market or sell a course is simply to create YouTube videos showing your skills and ability. So, for example, let's say you've created a course that helps dentists get more leads with N8N. You simply could create YouTube videos showing people how to do different things inside of N8N. You can create YouTube videos, 5 ways dentists can get more leads, 5 ways dentists can make more money. Create tutorials displaying your expertise and your skills, and you can start making money. When people see you building, another thing that you can do is you can do what's called build in public. So as you learn a new skill or a new technique, show the world that you've learned it. And people will resonate with that and they will want to like you and follow you and then buy stuff from you. Another simple way is once you start getting people, send them back to your YouTube channel. Send them back to anything on social media and then you'll start building a following. I will recommend that you make consistent content, engage with people in your community, and add a call to action. Actually, add 2 calls to action in your videos and point people to your courses. Again, selling is a good thing. Don't be afraid to sell because you've heard that money is the root of all evil. You don't want to sound scammy or spammy. But marketing is literally letting people know that you've got a product that they need, making them aware. Right? And as that says there, if you think what you've created will help people, then selling marketing is good. And then the final step is get customer feedback and sell them more stuff that they need, right? So think of other ways that you can serve your customers. Maybe do one-on-one coaching to help people solve that problem. You can offer custom services, so like done for you digital products. You can create a masterclass with all of your courses and charge, I don't know, $97 per month. And then think of other ways. But that is how you could go about creating a course that makes money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is something that anybody can do, and this can be something that you can do for AutoCAD or basket weaving or pickleball. All you got to do is come over to a marketplace like Udemy and type in whatever your niche is. I'm going to type in pickleball, and you might think pickleball is a visual activity, but there are people inside of Udemy that are making money with this. So there's no reason why you couldn't do it either. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section and watch this video next if you want to learn more ways to make money online.